So you can have your feet about hips width apart, shoulders are aligned with the hips. And imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light stretching from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just lengthen the spine. Putting some space in between the vertebrae. Have your hands they can be just relaxed in your lap. Just align your body, shoulders, ears. And then just go to the crown of the head and relax the scalp and the forehead and the eyes, the back of the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the mouth, the back of the tongue, back of the head, the neck. And allow the shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down and relax the throat and the chest and the belly and all of your limbs. And just notice the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. Be aware of the sounds in your environment, just allowing the sounds to be there, trying not to follow with the mind. And then just notice what's arising in the mind right now, just allowing the thoughts to be there. Just observe what's there, with curiosity, it's an attitude of observation. And implicit in that word is a lack of judgment. So you're having a neutral look at your mind. And then be aware of all the people in your life. So starting with the loved ones, the strangers. And then there's those ones you don't like. And they're interchangeable, these relationships, and they're also equal. Just like you and me, in their wish to be happy. They wish to be free from suffering and having this extraordinary capacity for this enlightened mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. And, you know, we can think of all the people over there in the Middle East, and now it's just seems to be getting a little hot there. And then all those people on the southern eastern part of the United States being severely affected by all the floods. So, you know, we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically a psychological one. And we create negativity with our mind. So equally, we can change it by creating positivity instead. And we start with the power of regret. So sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to harm any living being on this day, in this life, and in all of our past lives. And think of specific actions of both your body and your speech, and then in general, regret all. And the reason to regret is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. And we cannot bear the thought of the future suffering that we ourselves will experience. And we know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So logically, it makes sense to remove the karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So think like this: I regret from the depths of my heart, having harmed others with my body and my speech, having broken my vows, because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering. And also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to this power of reliance, and we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has these methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we're needing Buddha necessarily to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his methods. So just imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. And he's made of this radiant, blissful white light, sitting cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long and peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth. His hair is black and held up in a top knot, and his arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two, and this symbolizes enlightenment itself, the development of infinite wisdom and infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. So in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we have harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then remember those who have harmed you and have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to result as suffering sometime in the future. So make a strong aspiration to do this practice of purification for the benefit of all these beings, and think, I must purify for their sake. And now we come to this power of remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification. And we start with the body, and imagine Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space. Not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapasamaya Manupalaya Vajrasapadina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapasamaya Manupalaya Vajrasapadina Patita Jita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapadina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan Sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawa siddhi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita Jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, savasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya, vajrasapa dina patita, jita meboa, sitokaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anarakta meboa, savasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything but benefit others now with your body. And next is this purification of our speech. And Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and quite forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying, talking about other people behind their backs, getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by this powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa savasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa savasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam guru hum ha ho bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hompe vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa savasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapa Dina Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Savasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hompe Vajrasapa samaya manupalaya vajrasapa dina patita drita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anarakta meboa sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe. So again, feel so happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything but benefit others now with your speech. And next is this purification of our mind. And Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So you imagine you go into a room and it's pitch black and you just flick on that switch and the light instantly dispels the darkness. So it's the same here. The moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment and neediness and anger and depression, anxiety, resentment, jealousy, bitterness, all of this is instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Drita Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tathagata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Satra A Hom Pe. So again, be delighted. All your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified, and think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is this purification of even the imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this time, imagine the Vajrasattva very happily sends light and nectar, and it fills you completely and eradicates even the subtlest imprints of negative energy as we recite the mantra again. Vajrasappha Manupalaya Vajrasappha Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kamasita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappha Manupalaya Vajrasappha Patita Jita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 bhagavan sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya satra a hum pe vajrasappha samaya manupalaya vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a humpe. Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya vajrasappha dina patita Jita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya, vajrasappha dina patita, jita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yatsa sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe Vajrasappha Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasappha Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorekta Meboa Sawasiti Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata A Hum Pe. So be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering, the cause of why we harm others, are completely purified. And think now that there's no space in your heart for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. So next is the purification of even these imprints of negativity of the body, speech, and mind. And this is a much more subtle level here. So imagine light and nectar coming down from Vajrasattva's heart and eradicating even these very, very subtle imprints. Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya Vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya Vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya Vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan Sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya Vajrasappha dina patita jita meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa anorekta meboa sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya Vajrasappha dina patita Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagavan, sawatata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sata a hum pe. Vajrasappha samaya manupalaya, Vajrasappha dina patita, Drita meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorekta meboa, sawasiti mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe Vajrasapta Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasapta Dina Patita Drita Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyata Sawakama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ho Bhagavan Sawatata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sata Ahom Pe. So now feel you're completely purified. There's not even one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. And now we come to this power of resolve, and it's the fourth and final step in the purification process. It's really crucial because if we don't make a decision, if we don't resolve to do something, nothing's going to happen. So just rejoice in your efforts coming along here. Shrey, it's early in the morning. Or if we have any Australians here, of course, it's the middle of the day. And then, of course, for you people on the East Coast, even in the middle of the country, it's getting late. So rejoice in all of us in our efforts for coming on tonight. And then think of something you'd like to work on between now and tomorrow. And keep it simple. Just one thing. And then imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind and melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. And next, Rinpoche recommends to meditate on emptiness. And he would say, in emptiness, there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma, and there is no negative karma created. So whatever level you understand emptiness, place your mind there for a moment. You can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. You can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just quickly do our 3 verses, chanting the names of Manjushri. The best and foremost of all great physicians, unequaled in removing thorns of pain, a tree providing medicine for all, a foe opposing every malady. The lovely crowning jewel of all 3 worlds, a cluster of stars most glorious, the end of space in all its 10 directions, the hoisting high of Dharma's victory flag, sharing one large umbrella with the world, with love and kindness as his mandala, the celebrated lotus lord of dance, pervasive with his precious parasol. Okay, everybody. A strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long, and then for a swift return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche's unmistaken reincarnation, and then for all of your own precious teachers. And Elizabeth just put up a message. She said, did you know the name Shrey is of Indian origin, primarily used in Hindu culture? It is more commonly spelled as Shri or Shri in India. The name Shrey has several meanings, including auspicious, fortunate, excellent, or praiseworthy, and it's derived from the Sanskrit word Shreya, which means goodness or blessing. Are you Indian?
Yes.
Oh, you are. There you go. I hope we didn't embarrass you there, Shrey. Anyway,
It's okay.
that's very sweet, Elizabeth. Thank you.
Thank
All right,
you.
everyone. Lots of love. Good night. See you guys tomorrow. Okay, thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thanks. Good night.